Good morning, everybody. I hope you're having a good day or a good afternoon, whatever it is for you. I'm kind of just going to chill for a second, let the algorithm and let the technology do its thing. But I had a really amazing announcement today. I um I wasn't really paying attention to my voicemail. Sometimes it can get full unaware to people. But I had my voice box was full. So I went to go clear it out, and then I went to call this job back, and apparently they tried to call me back, and they're trying to set up orientation and everything. And so when I woke up and heard that, I was so excited. I was like, "Oh my goodness!" Because a lot of you, especially if you're new to watching me, there was a point in time about 5 months ago, about 5 months ago, maybe 6 months ago at this point, where I lost my employment. Well, I had lost my employment, and me and my girl, we both had a car. In the midst of me losing my employment, my car broke down. Well, not only did the car break down right after getting it fixed, well, it was on a payment plan, and so things were just really going left for me really quickly. My mom's been helping me out a little. My mom's been helping me out. Um, I wanted to buy this house, which eventually I still do want to, but what ended up happening was I was paying rent and everything was going okay, but then I lost my income. Well, it was like a whole journey because in the midst of me losing my income and all this stuff, a lot of other things was happening. It was just like going downhill fast. It was a situation where I really thought that it's like I don't want to say I didn't. I thought I couldn't recover, and when I say that, I don't think like, oh, I'm doomed or anything like that. It was just really getting tough. There's times in life where people really struggle with certain things, and this was one of those times for me. I just was really not doing well. This election had really affected me a lot too because in the midst of like living life, when there are, like election cycles and when there are different things going on around the world, like wars and political events, it can get hard to pay attention and focus on what you're doing. I'll give you an example. I know. Hello, Coach Jack Jamcon. Good to see you. In my life, um, throughout the 35 years I've been alive, there's been wars, there's been insurgencies, there's been coups and different things like that. Well, within these different systems, there's always the news that embellishes on it afterwards. You could take a simple story of something a politician said, but then after the news gets involved, the whole world knows about it, and then they're fighting back and forth. And that was just something I was experiencing. I lost my job. I lost basically almost everything. Me and my girl was getting to it a lot, and it was getting to the point. Hi, Frosty. I really like your name for the cartoon Frosty the Snowman, and because Wendy's they sell Frosties, and those are like those are some of my favorite chocolate ice cream delicacies. Wendy's, but yeah, I just really was going through it. So then, last night I was just thinking to myself, thinking, checking out my voicemail, seeing I was full. Then when I woke up, I called them back, and she said the lady's been trying to get in touch with me for employment. She just wants to ask a few more questions and um, call one of the people on my letters, my recommendation letters. And so everything's been going through. But I will say, in this journey, it hasn't been easy. I've been going up and down a lot of hills, and that's why I documented a lot of this stuff for the last year and a half. I had like 2 years, 3 years worth of videos, but I deleted a bunch of them because what I ended up doing was I came out trying to talk about like how I feel in terms of like my beliefs and stuff. Well, what I started to realize is that we all have our own beliefs. And no matter what we each believe, the thing that's the most important is that we respect each other and love each other. Because even if a person votes for Trump or something like that, that doesn't mean they're a bad person. That's just their political ideologies. Now, at the same time, if a person believes in something negative, like if they're going like, oh, I want to kick a bunch of people out of the country and they're saying like a bunch of mean stuff to others, then I might not want to be around that person. But that doesn't mean I hate them. They just might upset me with some of their ideologies. The stronger person, and this isn't always the case. If somebody's doing something wrong, sometimes they need stopped. Now, when I say need stopped, that don't mean you got to go, you know what I mean? You don't have to fight them. But at the same time, if I see somebody like trying to hurt others or stealing or robbing, stuff like that, sometimes it's good to do the right thing and try to identify those things. Hello, Moondrop 456. I'm glad to see you. I'm glad you all are all here. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. I just like, hanging out. A friend told me once, he said, "You know what, buddy? You're a vibe." And I was like, "That's cool, man. You're a vibe too." But I just respect, everybody coming together and loving. I think that's how you build a building or a civilization. Everybody comes together and they help you build, and then we can all, learn from it. But I'm just really happy and thankful that everything's turning out all right and I wasn't forsaken. Now, when I say I like girls, I like girls, me personally. But if somebody, whatever anybody believes in, that's just what they believe in. I don't try to attack people for their beliefs unless somebody comes up to me and goes, "I hate women," and they have to do what I say. Then I might get mad, but you know what I mean? If they're not hurting nobody, it's just, that's just because me personally, I like respecting other people. That's funny because one of my favorite meals is potatoes. I love French fries. I love fries, mashed potatoes. Have you ever had have you ever had they're called ribbon fries, but not the crunchy ones that are like chips. I like the ribbon fries that are actually you get them from the fair. They put cheese and bacon bits on top. They're so good. I'm gonna tell you something. Whoever invented the French fries or the chips, I think it was. I don't even know. I don't know exactly who invented it. I don't have information in front of me. But French fries are so good. Potatoes are one of my favorite foods. Especially you give me a steak and potato. I love potatoes. Just guys on the side. are you a are you into are you into guys or girls? Sorry, I don't know much. I'm just going off the writing, so I just getting to know people, getting to meet people. But yeah, I'm so happy. I woke up and found out that they were looking to hire me, and I was like, oh my goodness, finally, yes. This is like, oh, Five Guys. Yeah, the Five Guys is good. I went there once, but the only problem I had with Five Guys was the price. Oh my god. Five Guys. What? I don't know if you know about the real video of that. I'm not gonna say it here on the stream. My friend showed me that video years ago. I was like minding my business, right? He's like, "Hey, bro, look at this." Man, I looked and it was the beginning scene. It just went. I was like, bleh. I wanted to throw up everywhere, but I don't want to freak people out. So I'm not. If you want to bring it up, cool. But that video messed my head up, bro. Oh my god, it's so gross, so gross. I'm sorry. It's not funny, but it is. The reason why that's funny is because if people don't know what that is, the cup and the girls, if they don't know what that video is, and then they're just like, "Oh, okay." Oh my god, I almost puked when I seen that video. Yeah, that I ain't gonna talk about it too much because that video is messed up, bro. But yeah, that's the internet for you. When I see people say the internet is so messed up now, it's like, bro, where have y'all been? The internet has been messed up. But nah, yeah, I'm in a good mood today. I'm so happy I can finally get my life back on track and I can finally get back out there in the workforce and start doing good things, deck my house back up. Oh, I'm just smoking a cigarette right now, but I'm finna go get some more bud later. It's legal in Illinois, so you guys don't gotta worry. I'm not like, but yeah, I smoke weed sometimes, every once in a while, just to help mellow me out. But if you got stuff to do, I wouldn't recommend you smoking weed, like just because you never know, man. I'm not just gonna blind tell somebody, "Oh, go smoke and then drive a 14 with." No, don't do that. But yeah, I'm just really excited right now, and I'm glad that I can. It's really scary because me personally, I don't want to say I am an atheist because I don't like creating definitives. Because if somebody comes up to me and be like, "Do you believe in God?" I don't. I'm not like vibrate. No, that's I think I got a message or something. I think it says my baby mama liked to comment or not a comment. She liked the post that I put. So yeah, that too. I got two kids myself. I'm a dad. Sometimes I'll go on here and I'll be like, I'm bringing the spirit of the father, and people will be like, you liar, you blasphemer, and it's like, I'm a father. What do you mean? Sometimes when I talk like spiritual things, people go and get the Bible and they try to throw it at me. They try to stone me with their Bibles, and I play some dodgeball. Oh, too slow. I read that quote. If you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a Bible. I'm sorry, that's just a little joke from a movie called Dodgeball. Call me Patches O'Houlihan. Steve the Pirate. Nah, that's just a little joke though. That's just my personality though. Like when I see people fighting over different things, you know what I mean? Of course I get yeah, that movie is funny. Of course I get mad over certain things. Like let me give you an example. Like everything that Trump is doing, like yeah, it can be like even there it's not just Trump. This is what I want to tell people. Politicians, I don't want to say they don't care about us because each person has their own individual heart. Somebody could pretend to be a Democrat and be like crazy, not care. And somebody could be a Republican and they might care about you more than your family. I don't same vice versa. You might meet a Democrat that cares about you more than your I don't know. Democrat and Republican are just words. It's the person. I don't like fighting people for no reason. And so somebody could come up to me and be like Nick Fuentes, right? I don't have Nick is Nick. He's gonna do what he does. These are internet personalities that are kind of like out there. Now, you know, Nick, he is kind of funny to me because he doesn't really have no power. He might be able to gather incels, but these people most of the time are scary. That's why they come in groups. They always talk about being hardcore, but they'll never go into a black neighborhood. You know what I mean? Shit, if a backflip in my living room, I'm gonna crash into the table. This living room might be too small to do that. But yeah, like I did not like Nick when Nick started talking about like your body, my choice. That is infuriating. Boy, I got a daughter. If your words ever cause something to happen to my daughter because you talking stupid, bro, I would like freak out on him. But since he's not, you know what I'm saying, he's just the incel. And it seems like his words did more damage to him. They went and doxed him. I mean, people started showing up where he lives. Well, let me explain something to you. When you threaten people's lives, you think they're going to sit back and take that? I'm not teaching people to go attack the man. I'm just saying that if you poke a bear, it might turn around and roar. You know what I mean? That's me personally. I don't know. But yeah, this is a happy stream, happy vibes, happy everything. I'm so happy right now. I'm excited. You know what I mean? Words cannot express how happy I am that I'm back out here and I'm able to work. You know what I mean? The type of person I am, I know that there are rich people out there and I know about all these corporations and stuff, but that doesn't, I try to make my life better. I try to make my life perfect. Yeah, I might be making this amount of money at this place doing this, but it's my life. It's comfortable. You know what I mean? I'm comfortable. That's what I try to teach people. You know what I mean? There may in your lifetime always be people that are just like, ugh, because you have to understand we live in a world with free will for the most part. Because even if you're being ordered to do something, you're still following orders. You know what I mean? So I just like to teach people that, there's always going to be people that might make you upset because think of it like colors. You got 7 colors or 6 colors in a rainbow, however many. You're not always going to see the same color. You're going to see red sometimes. You're going to see purple sometimes. You're going to see green sometimes, yellow. If you're the type of person that only likes blue, then okay, you might live in a blue world, but when there are other colors that come into your world, then you have to come together and make a rainbow. Because if not, I mean, when people say rainbows are so pretty, but if you only have one color in the rainbow, it defeats the purpose and the rainbow loses its power. Well, think of the same thing with humanity. When we come together, you remember like Star Wars and Star Trek and different like space sci-fi movies, there'd be like blacks and whites and greens and purples and aliens, and that's my perfect world, I think, where we can all come together, help each other grow. I'm going to tell y'all a secret. I don't like talking about this too much, but back when I was working about 5-6 months ago before any of this happened. Hello, Rich. Good to see you. Before any of this happened, I would go to different YouTuber streams. It wasn't always elderly people, but when I would see elderly people on streams, I'm not gonna say any names, but I would drop 5 here, 10 here, 199 there, just small amounts to help people. Now that person might have needed some tissue that day, or some of this, or some of that. I felt like with me helping that one person, I just helped another person. Now you got people that be like, "Oh, I'm gonna go on the streets and give $1 to every homeless person." I tell people you have to be aware of your surroundings. I'm from the South. I'm from Outgale Gardens in Chicago. That's the projects. And when I was from there, I even remember certain. I'm. They say you can't remember. You can't remember too far back. But I think one of my oldest memories when we was in Outgale Gardens was when my mom was pushing me in a stroller or walking with me to my dad's job. He worked construction, and I'll never forget this. We walked down the block, or we walked to whatever, till we got to dad. And I don't fully remember it. Like, I don't like, oh, I remember this being there and there. I just remember being a child going to my dad's work at some construction place, and we gave him a sandwich or something. But, you know what I mean? It was dangerous back then when I was younger. I wouldn't recommend people just walking the streets giving people money. You can get robbed like that. There are ways to help people. And, you know, I'm seeing a lot of people in Congress. This is what really surprised me. It did, but it didn't. Once Trump won, the Republicans went out and started talking crazy. Well, a lot of African American women, African American men, Caucasian women, Caucasian Latino men, Latino women, people from every demographic, every kind of, even senator was coming out. We're fighting against Trump's laws. We're not going to take it. We're not going to take it. You know, when things like this happen and you guys go, oh, black men voted for Trump, Latino men voted for Trump, that's not true. You're taking a fiery word, a hot term, Latino, black, white, and then you're making that the reason why something isn't going well. And that's not how it works at all. There are so many people that didn't vote for Trump. Like, okay, there was this Latino man that got on a stream and he was talking to black people. And he said, my black people, I got a message for you. Whenever you see a Latino person, call ICE. I was like, are you fucking stupid? Whenever I see a Latino, call ICE. Why would I do that? That's so dumb. That's like listening to the Hodge twins get on camera and then go, whenever the police see a black person, arrest them. Why are y'all self-hating? Why? Now, I'll give you another example. Elon Musk. Elon Musk just posted that something about immigrants. He's like, yeah, you guys are getting what you deserve and all this other stuff about immigrants. So I go look up Elon. He's an immigrant. Not only is he an immigrant, he worked in the United States on a visa that was expired, making him an illegal immigrant until he threw money and got his citizenship. He even talks about it. So, you know, that's why a lot of times I did kind of learn a lesson in these videos. I learned a couple of lessons. There's nothing wrong with trying to help people and talk to people and trying to get to know people and create a community. But you're not going to make people change. You're not going to make people change. You're not going to make people... Watch this. ABC, the main problem with my teeth, which could have been fixed, this hole right here in my tooth. See, what happens is, over the years, I'll be 40 soon. Over the years, my teeth start to crack. And before I could get it fixed, when I finally did go to the dentist, they wanted me to go all the way to Champaign or Chicago to get a dental surgery. Well, I was working every day, and so I didn't have time to. And so it really wasn't even a money thing for me. I just work every day, so I didn't have the time to go get this hole fixed. Eventually, I might. I mean, it's not that serious. It is in terms of if it starts to hurt, but... Hello, Tatiana Jimenez, ABC1, acting like some activists out here. Wear some braces. I gotta tell you, like, imagine me knowing that my ancestors was getting beat up and hung and burned alive. And this dude gets in the chat and is like, go fix your teeth. It's like, what? That's funny to me. It's like, damn, bro, what? Fix my teeth. But the irony is, with telling me to fix my teeth, or her or whoever, I advocate for the ACA. You know how I'm able to get dental work done? Because of Medicaid. Familia Dental takes Medicaid, Obamacare. So it's just funny to me, people. I think what happens is they listen to the news and can't really think for themselves. A lot of times when that happens, I call that like NPCs. And what an NPC is, if you ever played an RPG or anything online, it's a because my dog ate my homework. That's funny. Because whenever you play a game or something, you'll have NPCs, non-playable characters. If you go pick up a quest or if you go do something like that, they'll give you like information on the game. So that's basically what an NPC is. That's why I wouldn't get mad at if me getting mad at an NPC. I did used to get mad at my computer sometimes. When I was younger, I played RuneScape. I think I was like 15 or 16 or something like that. And when I was playing RuneScape, I had a computer, obviously, and there was something called staking or dueling in the desert. It's like the Shanty Pass or something like that. Yeah, NPC. So when I used to go duel, you would duel other players, but I was kicking ass for a while. I came up to like 32 million. I had an Abyssal Whip, Dragon Plate. I had a bunch of stuff. I was paid. I'd never been that rich before on RuneScape. Man, I went and dueled somebody, and it was I can't remember if it was a magic bow or of dragon daggers. What people used to do is they had options in a duel. And if you duel with dragon daggers, they can swing 4 times really quick. Well, the reason why that's dangerous in a duel is because you're getting instant hits, pow, pow, pow. So you turn off the dragon daggers. This dude kept trying to turn the magic on to cheat in the duel, because what you do is you click all the options and then you click start duel. He kept trying to click magic daggers, so I caught him and clicked it off. I clicked it off, and he still beat me with dragon daggers and a magic bow. This is why that's funny. Magic bow shoots fast, pew, pew, pew. So the only way it's gonna lose, even if you have special on, you still might win. It's like man, I lost to this dude just stabbing me with a dagger, and I looked at my computer and said, pow! I was so mad. I lost everything. And the whole computer just broke. I was like, I was so mad. So don't attack NPCs, man. Don't get mad at technology. It is what it is. You just gotta, especially with AI coming in, especially with AI, you fuck around and get mad at your robot and be like, you piece of, psh. And he looks down and is like, alert, alert, danger, danger. Gets a piece of you up. Psh, psh, psh. Oh, my robot's beating me up. But no, I'm in a really good mood today, and so I just wanted to spread the good news. A couple of my viewers are probably not on to sleep at the moment, so I'm just creating a video for them so they can know I'm happy and got some good news coming on the way. But yeah, I just hope everybody's lives can go better. You know what I mean? A lot of times when they transition between these what's it called, election cycles, what happens is a lot changes, and so then people lose contracts, people lose jobs, things get moved around. It's just really confusing sometimes. I like the idea of democracy, but like every 2 to 4 years, I can see how you want change every once in a while, but the way we're doing it now, it's just like every 2 years for senators and every 4 years for presidents. Like, it's like, come on, dude. I mean, there should be checks and balances, like how you can impeach somebody. But the problem with stuff like impeachment is a lot of times if a person controls the House, like if a person is a Republican president and the whole Senate is Republican, then that's when it's like you're basically wasting your time with checks and balances, because there is no checks and balances. They basically have what they want. And so I don't know. It's just, I think we should come up with a whole new kind of like system. Like, if we're gonna have the Senate as like red and blue, then the president should be some type of total. He should be green or something. You know what I mean? The fact that they all, like, if you could have a whole House of Judges that are Republican, a whole House of Senate that's Republican, and a Republican president. Same with Democrats. That's not checks and balances. You're basically just creating a dictatorship where you give the man the power, and whatever he says, you're like, yeah, we're Republicans, so we'll do it too. But that's politics. If that's what you people are into, I just sit back and enjoy and watch. But a lot of times, when I see people say certain things, I can tell when they're an adult or when they're a child. Because no grown ass man is in America that's working a full time job is going to say this man out here in the hood too broke to handle his kid. Because if any man that has children, that has to take care of his children in America, I don't see them going around going, "Oh, you're a broke dude. You're a broke dude." Most of the time, I see them wanting to go to the bar and talk about their women or their situation. So you can tell. I mean, it's ironic. ABC 1 2 3. That's a child. They're learning hooked on phonics. A man child. That word is even an oxymoron. A man child. You're either a man or a child. And so he's out here spitting oxymorons. The even funnier part is he is showing discourse towards me, but instead of truly just coming out and saying, "Oh, I hate you," he's being passive aggressive. See, if you come to America, you're going to have to deal with something called passive aggressiveness. This is what they do. They'll say things like, "Ooh, child, I'm going to pray for you. Bless your soul." They don't really mean that they're praying for you or they want you blessed. That means that they're talking about you. There's a lot of other different phrases and things like that too, but you just kind of learn how to deal with it. A lot of times we call them Karens because as much as people talk about how nobody can handle weight and water, you'd be surprised that some of the people who crack the fastest, even in movies, it's hilarious. You know what I mean? It's like one little thing happens. It's like so hilarious. If you don't believe me, you could come out here and get to know some Karens and see if I'm lying. Their grass gets stepped on. I'm telling you, it's like hilarious, bro. You walk in a neighborhood and they don't know you. If you don't believe me, I mean, I'm just telling you all how it is. You know what I'm saying? So it's sometimes what I really like to teach people is being psychologically aware. When you're psychologically aware, you're aware of what you're doing and you're aware of your surroundings, so then you can navigate through life easier. Because, you know what I mean, I I would have to know what somebody's talking about to not like them. I mean, to just go up to them and be like, "Oh, your crooked teeth, your broken teeth, your dude." That's like, we used to do that in grade school. I mean, goddamn, I'm 35 now, bro. I'm finna be 36. I'm going around talking about, "Oh, you're very much wish, you broken teeth, you're fat." Like, what the fuck is wrong with y'all, nigga? If I'm from the hood, why would words hurt me? I don't understand y'all logic, man. I didn't wake up and be like, "Oh, I have McDonald's every day and I get to go drive to the playground." Like, what, nigga? Ryan and man, hi, nice to see you. Nice to see you. Just expressing happiness to be here and thankful that I just found a job. It's been almost 3, 4 months, and when you're a working man, that is painful. So I'm just really excited. I'm ready to get this next part of my life going, and just happy to be a functioning member of society that can help others. And I also answer questions about, hey, shout out Malaysia. That's what's up. I've never been to Malaysia, but I heard a lot of great stories about it. A lot of great stories. Me personally, I like to get to know people and meet people from different locations because as an American, I don't get the truth about other nations too much. We got a lot of propaganda. They say like commie and all that kind of stuff, dictator all the time. You know what I think is really funny about American history? You hear people all the time, they'll bring up the Soviet Union, China, the dictators. I think I was reading about Stalin, right? And they said in the 1880s or 90s, Patrujaya. Oh, that's cool. I'm gonna have to Google it sometime and see what it's about. I hear people talking about other countries in America and they lie a lot. They call other countries bad all the time. They say that we're a democracy. No, we're not. Because I'm explaining to you guys. I was doing research on Stalin. They kept talking about Putin and Stalin. So I looked up Stalin. They said he was an overlord and he fixed his country, but it was always his way. Well, let me explain to you. They said he was from the 1800s and he was a dictator, right? Now, go look up what was happening in the 1800s in America. They were tying blacks to trees and cutting their stomachs out because they couldn't be slaves no more. They were burning blacks alive and cutting their penises off. They were hanging us. How can you whenever somebody comes up to me and goes, "Dictator, Stalin, fascist," I'll be like, "Do you know what George Washington did? Do you know what Robert E. Lee did? Do you know what these people did in America?" Don't come up to an African American saying, "Putin bad. He fixed Somalia and he's trying to build bricks." Then you go to America and they're still hanging black truckers. Are you guys serious? Don't come up to me telling me their country's a dictatorship and ours a liberal. If you say you're a liberal in this country, they'll call you a lefty libby. They ban books, but Oklahoma just Oh yeah, the UK. I know a lot of people travel out and venture out and go to different places. I know the UK is dealing with a lot right now. I think a lot of their farmers were just upset, and the police killed a Middle Eastern kid. So then France was like protesting. It was a lot going on, but I don't like when people like fight and stuff like that. Nations. I also saw in Europe recently they said they're trying to kick out all the immigrants, and I was like, I don't know why people do that, man. I don't. We're all immigrants from somewhere. I mean, depending on how you look at America, you can look at it like the Asiatic people went across the Bering Strait and then they went to America, and that's why we have Native Americans. Well, even if you say that, the Chinese and the different Asian countries already said that they evolved from Africans. This is in their curriculum. You see, in America, they ban they a thunder junkie. I'm not sure what that means. A thunder junkie. I know what a junkie is, but I don't know what a thunder junkie is. CR7 has scored. I don't know what CR7 is either. Oh, 2:30 a.m. Yeah, it's probably late. I'm all the way over here in Illinois in America. But it's about what time is it here? About 12:36. So almost a 12 hour difference. And so Ronaldo. Ronaldo. Um but I call my step grandson Donaldo. I call him Donaldo. Where's Waldo? But no, yeah, I don't understand what America's doing. I did research on other countries. In comparison to America, they're not dictators or fascists. America had slavery all through its history. They were killing African Americans and people of color and Native Americans. They didn't like Europeans until like the 2000s. They were racist against Italians, the Irish, the British. Oh shit! You've been shocked 7 times. Or 5. I was watching a video recently. I forgot what the dude's name. I forgot what his channel's called. I guess there's a check called Omegle. I don't know if you guys ever heard of Omegle, but what he did was he got on Omegle and he had a taser, and he said every time he sees something racist, he's gonna shock himself. Don't do that at home. I'm not teaching you all to do that. But that was the funniest video I have seen in a long time. I guess in Korea or somewhere in Asia, in order to say you have to say nigga or something like that. So there was this Korean video or something where this black guy goes up to this guy and he goes, "What does nigga mean?" And the guy goes, "You." He wasn't calling the black guy a nigga. Nigga means you in, I think, Korea or somewhere. So the black guy said, "What does nigga mean?" And the Asian dude go, "Nigga, you." Oh, that shit was so sorry. Because it was like, oh my God, bro. Dude had to shock the shit out of himself because he had a taser. That's what he was doing. Once again, I don't recommend you all do this at home. Ooh, electricity and electronics. That reminds me of, I don't know if you've ever seen Jurassic Park, the old one, but the kid was on an electric fence and they were like, get down, and he was too scared to jump down. So they turned the electricity on. He said, that's not funny. Go outside in wet clothes. I do not advocate for people doing that. I don't know why he does that. But if you ever seen a movie, oh my God. Never put a If you guys ever seen a movie called Home Alone, in Home Alone, the kid went and turned on the electricity, and when Jasper went to go touch it, he was... Liberty, I don't know if you're telling the truth or not, but please stop doing that. You can see God without shocking yourself. You know what's really funny? It's not funny, but I had a dream recently. Where I was in a city. I don't know where it was at, but it was all like buildings. But the buildings weren't super high. They were like, if you've ever been to a small town, there's like 2-story buildings. Let me text my friend real quick. And uh, one sec. So on this movie, or in my dream, what I was doing was I was walking down a side block. It was almost like Chicago, but the buildings weren't really high. They were like two-story buildings where I was at. And I seen this I was walking down the street, but I had on like robes. It felt like I was like a priest or something. I had on like white robe. They weren't all white, like a gray color beige, but I had on robes. Well, all of a sudden on this busy block, I saw this black guy. He was like kind of darker. He was like me but darker. And he was climbing up this building. And when he was climbing up the building, we were all looking like, what the hell? What is he doing? Well, there was like a bunch of cops down, like, get down from there, get down from there. But he was still climbing. All of a sudden, he touched the top of the building, but it was connected to a power line. When he touched the top of the building, he went and started frying, right? I was like, oh shit. Now, he started to fall and I turned my head. I couldn't look. When I turned my head, everybody was like, oh my God, oh my God. And you could hear boom. I went and turned back around and like the ambulance, it was like police and ambulance. They were like picking him up off the ground and taking him away. Well, when they were doing that, there was like a bunch of little kids around me. There was like 10 kids around me just randomly walking. They were like, oh my God, oh my God. They were crying and like freaking out, going crazy. I grabbed all the little kids. And I said, come here, kids, come here, kids. Don't look at that. Look at me. And they were like doing this. And I started talking to them and they stopped crying and I woke up. I don't know what that's about, but when you said you like to touch electric stuff, that just like reminded me of that dream. I was like, what the? Oh, if you like with you saying about North Korea and 5 stars, the reason it says 5 stars is because those are public reviews. And so I'm gonna tell you how that works. If you go to North Korea, you're gonna have all of them in the regime saying it's 5 stars. If they don't, then what's gonna happen? That's like if I was a dictator and people came to my house, but I own the whole country, and they came to my house and everybody that came to my house gave 5 star reviews. That just simply means they're terrified not to give me 5 star reviews. Now, I've never been to North Korea, but I've even seen North Koreans defecting in documentaries, and they said they're not going back. So there was a story recently about farmers in France. They were throwing poop on their buildings because they're upset with these trade deals going on. I'm just telling y'all what I see happening. Obama set up a bunch of trade deals in 2016. Or Obama set up a bunch of trade deals. He set up a bunch of farming deals and other stuff. Well, when they asked him why he was doing that, because farmers hated him because they were a part of rural America, which were mostly Republican, he said, I don't care. I'm just going to help everybody. Well, when Trump came into office, he removed a bunch of agricultural deals and added tariffs. When he did that, the farmers in different countries and the people in their commonwealths, he bragged about it on Joe Rogan. He said, I helped Apple bring all the money back, and China and England didn't get no money. They didn't get a cent. I was like, oh, that's why these farmers are throwing poop. They're mad. But yeah, bro, I try to teach people to the best of my ability that politicians more than likely, I mean, some of them might care, but they don't care about y'all. You know what I mean? Hello, Meow is Cutie Pie. Did he get the shell shot? Now, I think the guy removed his comments. I'm not sure what they said. Someone was drawing North Korea and did someone wrong, and he said, I think I'm not going to get nuked. I don't know, man. I don't try to judge North Korea too much because I'm not from there. I've never been there. But I've seen documentaries of people defecting, and I got to tell you, based on what they said, I wouldn't necessarily try to go visit. I mean, that's just me personally. But, you know, everybody's got their own, way. There was a white man years ago. I guess he was taking pictures in North Korea. It was famous news. He was taking pictures in North Korea and they arrested him. And by the time they got him back, he was a vegetable, bro. They beat him to smithereens. I mean, it all depends on where you go. If you're gonna go somewhere, you're gonna want to respect their laws. Because this Britney chick just went to Russia, and as much as I talk about Russia's doing the right thing, they don't allow weed in Russia, I guess. So fuck that. I'll smoke weed. They was talking about giving her 15 years. because she had some CBD or something. Ooh, that's why I tell people, if you're gonna go to another country, make sure you do the research first, because it happens here sometimes. People will come here, don't know the laws, and they'll get arrested or something. I mean, it's not really any empathy or compassion. Me personally, if somebody did something for the first time and it's like a law people don't really know about, like that's not, I don't think you should send people to prison for certain things. Like, bro, if I'm jaywalking, you're gonna give me a ticket? Like, come on, bro. I didn't. Okay, give me a warning or something. That's just like dumb. And I'm gonna be honest with you. A lot of people that get punished are poor people. We don't even have the means to. You think the police are riding around $10 million neighborhoods? You think they're riding around $10 million neighborhoods going, "Hey, you just jaywalked"? They're out there doing block parties and shit. I don't. Yeah, I've actually seen a documentary about Turkmenistan recently, and Turkmenistan is very scary. Very scary. That's why I don't like documentaries about countries, especially when they do their own documentaries. Look at America, right? Fox News all the time, where they just say black bad, black neighborhood, the ghetto. I can assure you, you can go through many trailer parks and white neighborhoods, and they're doing more crime and doing worse stuff than African Americans. What they do is they make us the bad people. They show all this ghetto, but then they don't talk about. Did you know that Caucasians committed 70% of crime in 2019? They have charts on this. There was 6.8 million crimes, and 4.7 million of them were Caucasian. That's 70% of the crime. Did you know that out of 44 million African Americans, only 1.8 million were arrested? That's only 3% of crime. That's only 3% of African Americans did crime. They just be lying on people. Just like how all my life, they say Russia communist dictator. I have seen black men, a traveler, go to Russia. I have seen Canadians move to Russia. I've seen unlimited videos of people going to Russia, and they are all saying the same thing. It is a beautiful place. Yes, there was oppression in the past, but if you say America's the Holy Land, then I would that you go do research on America. 40, 50 years ago, they were putting Japanese in internment camps. They made the Chinese build railroads. African Americans have been slaves here since the beginning. Don't come up to me telling me about Russia, commie, China, Russia. Are you kidding me? My great-great-grandfather George was hung on a plantation. They have pictures of this man. So that's why America kind of frustrates me sometimes, man. People come up to me and be like, Trump, America, make America great again. Let's see, my great-great-grandfather was hung. My other people was gentrified, had to live in ghettos, internment camps for ghettos. My other people were killed, all these race massacres. America is lying. They're a bunch of liars. So I watched the veto today of the UN doing a resolution to stop Palestinians from getting murdered. Do you know who voted against it? America. So funny. You know what? America and Israel are giving proportionate responses. Japan bombed Pearl Harbor, and they nuked two cities called Nagasaki and Hiroshima. Israel had 1,200 people killed after going and stealing somebody else's land. You guys aren't Jews. I'm sorry, I'm just being honest. You're Europeans. So let me explain something. African Americans left Africa how long ago? If me and millions of African Americans went back to Africa and annexed it and started bombing Africans, that's what Israel's doing. They're not from there. They're European. They took a plane to get back there. Now they're bombing people when they said they don't want them there. That's what Israel's doing. You're not innocents. Your children are spitting and throwing rocks at people. I didn't say Jews. I said those people in Israel right now. Those Europeans. What up, Merg? Oh my God, are you serious? You can't speak different languages in Are you serious? That's brutal. I'm sorry to hear that. I had a bunch of friends visit Malaysia, a bunch of other places. I got buddies that visit the Philippines and a bunch of places. And for the most part, they say they like it, but they say if you don't have money, it could be hard, just like America. They say there's a lot of places that don't get proper resources. That's what the world does. They'll show a pretty building Every country does it. They show New York and Trump Towers and all the pretty buildings, but all the citizens, we have to suffer for the most part. You know what I mean? Because they don't give us a voice. They don't give us a way. You know what I mean? What's up, Merk? I was just on here. What's up, Carl? I was telling everybody how happy I am of they called me back and said they gonna get they ready to hire and all this other stuff. The lady been trying to call me, but my voicemail's full, so I was like, oh snap. So I called them back. She said the lady was sick today, so she gonna get back in touch with me as soon as she's back in. So usually they do orientations. They want to try to give me an orientation and all that. So I'm just happy. I'm excited. I'm celebrating. I ain't smoking cigarettes. I'm just playing. That's a joke. But yeah, I thought I'd get on here. It's almost been an hour, my cutoff time. So I kind of got this thing. I try not to stream for more than an hour. It's kind of like, whew, a full-time job if you let it be. But yeah, I'm just really excited. Waiting for a girl to get off. She said she's gonna stay tonight, and we just gonna hang out and do some stuff. So I'm just really excited. Oh man, Ryan, yo, you get a card to the cookout. Now this card is only redeemable with me. I don't know how other people will feel, but if you go up to other people and tell them the UK colonized your country, your card might work with them too. If you go to Google and type in the number of countries freed or given independence by the UK, yeah, Six and Blackjack. What's up, Hudson Tech? Good to see you. Um, but a lot of countries were called, India. When you guys see India in the Middle East, I know a lot of times you'll see them like walking through the street as street vendors, and people like, oh, that food's so gross, and oh, look at their country. No, their countries didn't used to be like that. If you go and do a little history, if you look at Russia, they got those like ice cream scoop building tops. If you know what I'm talking about, they look like this, but they're like circular. That's how a lot of like India and the Middle East, what they did was the UK went and colonized a bunch of stuff. So look at Nigeria right now. Nigeria has Toyota in Nigeria. It's a big factory. Now you have all these people that work for Toyota in these big mansions. They were big mansions and they look pretty, $25 million mansions. Well, on the other side of that, where all the waste runs down, there's a river town in Nigeria. All these poor people are living on top of a river in like these docks and boats. Well, the poor people, their life expectancy is like 4 to 28. While these people, each person in each of these $25 million houses could afford health care for everybody on that dock. One single person. The company itself could build a town for these Nigerians. They're grossing billions and trillions of dollars. Do you think they do it? Nope. I told people a long time ago, 1957. Ooh, I'm sorry to hear that. Did you know that in the 1950s, African Americans were finally relieved from Jim Crow? It was called desegregation. We weren't allowed to go to their schools, and in the 1800s, we weren't allowed to read and write either. So you know what I'm thinking, Ryan? I think they're right. They're creating race and culture so we can hate each other. I think we've all been oppressed. I think that's how it works. I think that's why they create these news stories to make us hate each other. Even look at Trump. Why would his people say Puerto Rico's an island of garbage? Why would he say immigrants are eating cats and dogs? Why would he say Obamacare is bad if it's healing all these people? They just hate anything black or of color, man. I'm telling you. The Mozambique's official language is Portuguese. Oh, okay. Oh, the Portuguese, bro, they colonized Africa bad. The Belgium and the Portuguese, they did because I'm from the Congo. I'm not from the Congo. When my mom did a DNA testing, and I don't know what side my dad's from, so I still have to do mine personally. But it showed that me from her side was 31% Congo and 11% Polish Russian. And so I did research on the Congo and Poland, and my people were, oh my God, they were running from the Nazis. The Congo was being enslaved by Belgium. It was just like, oh my goodness. They say, go get your own culture. I went and looked up my own culture, and both of them were being beat on the head by Nazis. It's like, oh my goodness, dude. Because Belgium is around Germany, and the Nazis were German. It's like, what the hell? Ooh, 1975. My goodness. Y'all sound like y'all sound like African Americans. We basically all, I'm telling you, I think we're all a big family. That's why I like to get to know people and understand people because when I meet a lot of Americans, they sound kind of spoiled. But when I meet people from other countries, it sounds like they're dealing with a lot that I'm dealing with. Because I'm going to tell you how America is. You could have two Americans living next door to each other. More than likely, they probably won't live next door to each other if there's a big wage gap. But you can have somebody on this house, and their parents probably got 5 million in the bank. They probably make 500,000 a year. They probably very well off. Then you take the people down the block. Their parents might make $50,000 total, if that. They might have a single income family, and their mom might make 25, 30 grand as a CNA or as a nurse. If they're a nurse, they'll probably be a little better off. But if your parents are like a CNA or a janitor or certain factory workers, you're poor. So in America, your lights could constantly be off. You probably don't have much food like that. You're starving. As an American, it's funny. You can be going through starvation, and then you'll see on the TV, help feed the starving people in different countries. It's like, what about me? I just want some noodles. So it's kind of, I don't know. Everybody's got their own story. Yeah, it's wild. Because before the UK, the British, and I mean before the UK, the Belgium, Spain, you looking at like France, a lot of those countries, they were colonizing Africa, basically Europe. That's why when I hear people they be saying when they call other countries dictatorships, it makes my head hurt. I mean, I've done so much research on America, and it has been nothing but slavery, war, theft, and murder. I mean, just constant, nonstop. When black people tried to be equal, they wouldn't let us read and write. I mean, it's just, I don't know. That's why me personally, yeah, I'm from Illinois actually. I'm from Chicago. I'm from Chicago. Not all that, that you hear him on the songs. We're not from 63rd and Gangsta and BD&G. No. The part of Chicago I'm from, you don't go outside talking shit. You go outside to go get in your car and then you leave. Where I'm from, you don't do all that. You go through their neighborhood talking about I'm not from 63rd, you will get murdered. I'm just telling you, like that's why it's yep, Springfield. I go to Springfield all the time though. I just went to Springfield with my girl. She went to go run some errands with her stepdaughter, but her stepdaughter was already there. So when she took me, she treated me out to A&W. She got me a double bacon cheeseburger. I was so happy. I almost cried. I haven't had fast food in 2 weeks. And she got me a bacon double cheeseburger. But yeah, America is that beautiful place where you're gonna love it and you're gonna hate it. Your love for it might overpower your hate for it. Because yeah, I can complain, but it's still oh, I'm sorry to hear about that. Years ago, when I was living in it's called Sunnyside in Bloomington. It's an apartment complex. Because when I was getting my CNA, I wasn't the most wealthy person. When I dropped out of high school and got my GED, but after I got my GED, I ended up going to take community college classes to be a licensed practical nurse. I can still, or a registered nurse. I can still become a licensed practical nurse through Caspin, which is probably what I'll do. I don't know if I'll wait to my 40s or what. But once I'm more situated and have a car again and all that, I'll probably apply for Caspin and become an LPN one day. Well, when I was going to school out here, I was staying with my baby mama's parents for a while. And he told me, and I was doing drywall. It's construction. So when I was doing this drywall, he told me one day I had a biology final. And if I would have passed this final, I would have been able to go on to get my RN classes. He told me that if I took the final and didn't work with him, he was going to kick me out. So I went and worked with him. I had to take the biology final the next year, and then I didn't have the time to go and take RN class all over. I took all my prerequisites. All the prerequisites for nursing I had. All of them. The CNA classes, the math classes, the psych, the everything. So when this had happened, I was out there trying to survive. I had my CNA already, so I had already started working. So when I had started working, It was miserable. So we were living in the housing complex at first. It was me, my 2 kids, and my baby mom. When I was with her, now we're all living in Decatur. Not her. Me and my BM split up, but now me and my kids are in Decatur. When when we had a next door neighbor, really nice guy, really guy. It was him, his dad, and his dad, and his mom and sister. It was 4 of them. No, the sister came over and visited all the time. She had her own place, I think. So this dude in housing, not where I'm at, this is a house, but when you lived in apartment complexes, they had ceiling fans like this one. They would spin and spin and spin. Well, I would sit at the wall next to the stairs, and they had Wi-Fi. They gave me their password and everything, and they said I could use their Wi-Fi whenever I wanted. So I was sitting on the stairs playing a game called Order and Chaos. This is before I started recording my gaming videos. I was just playing as an orc warrior before the update and all that. So one day I'm sitting here fighting on Order and Chaos, and I hear a boom. I was like, what the fuck? I hear the boy screaming. He's a grown man. He's like, oh, fuck, what the fuck? So I was like, oh, shit. I ran down the stairs, went outside, knocked on her door. I was like, man, are you okay? What's going on? He said he was watching TV. His ceiling fan fell out the ceiling and went, boom. That's not funny. I'm sorry, but it is. And I'm going to tell you how karma got me, but it didn't get me. My cousin came over. His name JJ. He came over and was playing my son one day. My son probably like 2 years old, little bitty baby. Like, now when my son was first born, he was having problems in his ears, and he still does. So he had to get tubes and stuff, and they would have to drain it a lot. So when he was first coming up, he would like talk too much. It's fine now, but he like had muffled ears. He couldn't hear too much that well. So he would like say things, but he would like point and stuff. Bro, man, I'll never forget this. My cousin was throwing my son in the air, and his head hit the ceiling fan. So, like, normally somebody be like, ah! My son go, because it's like muffled because his ears. He hit my son's head on the ceiling fan. He went, ooh! Man, I almost punched my cousin in his face, bro. I was like, give me my damn son. But it was like karma because I was laughing at the dude when the ceiling fan, it was... Okay, thank you, Ryan. It was good seeing you and everybody else who, Oh, yeah, I got cats, too. I wasn't even paying attention. I have cats, too. My cat right here, look. It's Dracula. You see, hold on. Oh, shit. This is Dracula. Hi, Dracky. He's my little buddy. I love him. But, yeah, it's about time for me to go on and get to it. It's been 58 minutes. So, I appreciate you all being here. Ryan, it was nice meeting you. If I see you a couple more streams, usually when I see people enough, what I'll do is if they're cool and they're talking and have sense like Ryan, and a couple other people I'll make moderators. I just made a couple of people moderators. Rachel Huggins, Carl, John, Dan, a couple of them, they're already my moderators. But another girl named Emily, I haven't seen her too much, but her and another girl, I forget her name. But she's in my videos back with my poems. That's another thing. If you guys are new to me, go to my playlist tab and you'll see poetry. I have poetry, funny videos, and a couple of rap songs. It'll say my music or my poetry or my gaming, but you can go into my playlist and see that. I've got some other stuff called Yehanan and the Revealer, Science and Data, Yehanan and Battle Jericho. That's more for like people deconstructing from like different religions. Now, me personally, I don't hate other people's religions, but if you're trying to deconstruct right now, you've been hurt by like Christianity stuff, I've got like poems, Yehanan and the Revealer, Science and Data, and it's really been helping people deconstruct. I know a lot of people that are like terrified of hell and other stuff. After watching me, they are so calm. I'm not saying I'm some kind of superhero. I'm just saying I'm coming with a lot of information to help you guys. My poetry has really been helping people. They tell me it helps them kind of like calm down. It helps them, stay level-headed and stuff. So I'm going to see you guys later. And just remember, always stay safe and always use discernment and understanding. It is better to get to know somebody than say, you're evil. And can you guys please stop stoning people with the 613 mitzvahs plus the Ark of the Covenant, which makes it 616 laws, the mark of the beast. Please stop attacking. If you see one of the laws in there, be like, be nicer, be loving, don't hate my neighbor. Okay, that's. But if you go in the Bible and say the Lord said annihilate the Amalekites, God isn't telling you to commit genocide. You're reading a book, picking up genocidal words, and then blaming a spirit. Use understanding and wisdom. So I love y'all. Dracula loves y'all. And have a good day.